to this Tai Chi, learning Tai Chi at home. Today we're going to talk about we're going to learn about the 24 form. The 24 form comes from the Yang style, and it actually comes from the long, original 108 steps Yang style. What I really like about this form is it covers almost all of the essential principles that you get in the long form, and it certainly has all 8 of the steps that are found in the long Yang style form. The 24 form was created by the Chinese Sports Committee in 1956. The Chinese government thought it would be good if the masses could learn Tai Chi, so they created this form. Today we're going to learn only steps 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to, after the warm-ups, go into some detail with each step, and then we will practice 1, 2, and 3 several times. Right, let's start with the warm-ups. We go from the neck down to the feet. Let's go. Left and right. Half circles. And left and right. Shoulders backwards. Forwards. Right, let's stretch out the back. Hold this ball in front of you. Change your hands. Back again. As you sink down, breathe in. As you stand up, breathe out. Take that ball and go sideways. Try to keep your hips facing the front. Let it loose. And rotate that waist. And away. Turn your feet outwards slightly. We're just going to work the upper thighs. Breathe in. And sink down. Again. Try to go a little bit deeper each time. Try not, it's important that you don't look down towards the floor. Keep looking straight ahead. In and out. One more time. Stay down if you can. Try to keep looking up to the front. Hold it there. Put your fingers under your toes. Straighten your legs. And slowly come up. Go backwards a little bit. And forwards. Bend your knees when you come up. And back to the front. Right, let's look at our balance. As I said before, if you want to hold on to something, that's fine, but it's not going to improve your balance. What I like about this 24 form, there's 40 steps. Although there's only 24 names, there's 40 steps. And of those 40 steps, 37 times we need to balance. So my tip for you for today is improve your balance. You're going to need it to do Tai Chi the way it should be done. Change legs. Open the hip. Extend your foot forward. If you can't go high, it's fine. You can extend it just a little bit, but push your heel down. Rotate the knees. And away.
Come on.
And empty stance. Put all the weight in this leg. Extend the other leg as far forward as you can. And flex your foot. Again, we need decent balance to do this. Sideways. Change legs. Right, let's fill up those lungs. Take some deep breaths in and out. When you breathe, try to breathe down to the abdominals, to the dantian. Hold this ball in front of you. Breathe in. Okay. Now, we start move number 1. I'm going to demonstrate it, and I'm going to talk about it, and then we look at the detail. Move number 1 looks something like this. Move number 1 is called the opening stance. Postura de apetura. But what we have to do, there's a lot of components in this move. Firstly, my feet, I start off with my feet together or together. As we get older, I encourage people to turn their feet outwards. First thing we need to do is find our balance. Step to the left, put our toe down, make sure our foot goes down straight. Now we have parallel feet. What I did was when I put my weight into this leg, At that time, I fix the other foot. I'll turn around so you can see that. I start,
Hier in de
this
wicht.
foot goes straight, and I fix that foot.
Und dann korrigiert.
Some of you don't have your microphones muted. For that reason, please keep it down or mute your microphone. So, the foot toe down first, this foot lands straight, and I fix that foot at the same time. My arms, throughout that movement, my hands are down next to my thighs. They're still there. Now they leave my thighs, they face each other, they turn, and before I get to shoulder height, my palms are facing down. So they float up, my elbows bend, dip, my hands come over the top, and I press down. Now I've sunk down with my knees, my posture is still straight, and my hands are over there. Let's talk about that. I'm over here. My hands are always facing the front. They're never doing this somewhere. Always facing the front. They're not too close to my body. This makes me too tight here. They're nice and relaxed out there somewhere. Always. So if I put my elbows out, my hands start to face each other. That's wrong. My hands are always facing the front. So learn to do that. Don't go too high. Just before I get to shoulder height, I bring them back and I press them down. The other thing I need you to know is I don't use my wrists. Don't use your wrists in Tai Chi. We don't need this. So I'm not going to do this. Please don't do this. My wrists don't really move. So we need to learn not to use our wrists. If I'm going to do another move in Tai Chi, let me do move number 3. There's a lot of arm-hand movement, but my wrists don't move. If I did brushing knee, my wrists don't move. There's a slight movement in my arm, my shoulder, my elbow, my wrist, but they never do this. Okay, we got that. Let's do it once, twice with me facing you. And I'll turn my back to you and we do that and move on to the second move. Again. One more time with the breathing. I have my feet parallel. I breathe in. I hold my breath and I breathe out. I'm going to do it from the back. You won't see my arms, but you can follow me with a step. Let's do this. One more time. Last thing on this particular move is it's often called the awakening the chi. It's the form, it's the opportunity I have before I start my Tai Chi to mentally, physically prepare. I can take as long as I like to do this move, it's my opportunity to prepare for the rest of the form. Good. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is called, I'm going to demonstrate it while I talk. It's called stroking or parting the wild horse's mane. It looks like that. There's 3 steps. I will do all 3 for you. It looks like this. Parting the wild horse's mane to the left. We do it again to the right. And one more time, we do it to the left. So that's what we're going to learn now. Again, we break it up into lots of little pieces. We are here. I have to find my balance again to take this step. I don't find my balance by leaning on this leg. I find my balance by turning into this leg. As I turn, I transfer 100% of my weight into this leg. From here, I transfer that weight. I have 100%. I can now take that step. So just do this with me. I'm going to turn around. Just find your 100%. Find that by turning. Turn into 100. As you turn, so you have your 100, you can do something with that. Look for that. As I said, the big tip for you today is improve your balance. Learn to find your balance. So, 1. Always when I take a step, I bring this foot to the middle and then I step. No exceptions. So now, I bring my foot to the middle and at the same time, I turn that ball over. Same time. Turn the ball over as I come to the middle. Let's do it from the back. Here, I find my balance. I turn the ball over and I take my step. Right, now we've got that far. What we're doing, this thing is called parting the wild horse's mane. And what I'm doing is I put this hand under the mane of a horse and I part it with the other hand. With my fingers, I put it through the horse's mane. So what you're seeing here is I'm now parting that horse's mane as I turn. Okay, let's go that far. There, feet together. Start parting that horse's mane as you step this way. Do that again. I'll turn my back to you. Here, there, turn the ball over. I start parting the horse's mane when I step this way. The stance that we use when we're parting the horse's mane, in Chinese it's called gongbu. It's a very important stance. In English it's called bow stance. Spanish, Postura de arco. Bogenhaltung in German. What we're doing, this foot is straight always, straight again. I have 70 to 80% of my weight in this leg. This one is straight against the floor. I never do this in Tai Chi. Never do that. So we're there. The other thing, I'll face you now, I have my feet are shoulder width apart. I need for my middle to be facing the front when I'm in this stance. So if I don't step wide enough, I can't get my middle to the front. If I step too wide, it's fine, but I'm going to have a problem to get up. So try to remember shoulder width or hip width apart. That foot is straight, 70 to 80%. The back leg is straight. That's where we want to be. Posture's upright. That's a good bow stance. So from here, we find our 100% in this leg. Turn the ball over as we step. Start parting the horse's mane and step wide enough so you're in a good bow stance at this point. I'm going to do it from here so you can follow me. We're here. I put 100% in my right leg. I turn this ball over as my feet come together. I start parting the horse's mane and I turn to step wide enough to be in a good stance. Let's do that again from here. Another point, whenever in any Tai Chi style, in any form, whenever I'm going to one leg, I breathe in. So now I'll put the weight there. Now I go to one leg, I breathe in. So I can breathe out. Do that again. I breathe in. And I breathe out. As I showed you, parting the wild horse's mane is to the left, to the right, and back to the left. I'm going to show you how we move from one step to another. I think I'm in the right place here. I finish this one. I roll back so I have no weight in this leg. I roll back, I turn this foot, my palms are facing one another, I breathe in as I do that, and I stroke the horse's mane. I roll back, I turn, I breathe in, and stroke the horse's mane. I'm not sure if I'm always in front of the camera, so sometimes my step might look too wide or too narrow. But trust me, I've got this thing taped. It may be a camera angle. Let's do it again. Breathe in and breathe out. Go back, turn, breathe in, breathe out. Back again, turn, breathe in, and breathe out. When my hands are finished the first step, I roll back. Nothing has changed with my hands, nothing at all. They're fixed, they're going to follow my middle. I roll back, I turn, my hands come with me, see? Nothing has happened to my hands. You need to know that. Roll back, my hands are still there. Now I breathe in, and my hands change up and down. They never go across my body, they change up and down. Watch that, I roll back, no change. Now they go up and down and I step this way. So my hands have never crossed my body, they just go up and down. I'm going to do it all three steps for you. If we go this way, we go back. My hands are changing while I step. Okay, my hands change and I step. Again, my hands change and I step while they change. stroking the wild horse's mane, or parting the wild horse's mane. It's got a nice name in Chinese. It's called Ye Ma Fin Zhong. I like the sound of that. I've always liked the sound of that name, Ye Ma Fin Zhong. And we need to visualize we're parting, we're stroking the horse's mane. We need to remember that. Okay, the next step, and we'll put this all together before we close today. The next step is called white crane spreads its wings. It's probably my favorite move in this form. In German, der Weisse Kranich, breitet seinen flugel aus. Spanish, it's not so easy. Something like la grulla blanca extiende sus alas. In Chinese, it's quite cute. Bei lang zu. So, let's break this down into parts. We finished stroke the horse's mane to the right, to the left. I have at this point 70-80% of my weight in this leg. I want to stand on it, so I need to go to 100. I do it like this. I block a punch coming towards me, and at that stage, I go to 100. So get that right. Go to 100. I then stand on this leg so I can turn. I stand on it and I turn. My hands haven't changed. Let's do that. 100, stand on it and turn. And we do it from the back. We're here. Don't know what you can see from there, but listen to me. Go to 100 with your block, stand on that leg, and turn. Your block is still in front of your face. Here, 100, block. Okay, so we've got that. 100, block. I change my block. Now I'm doing a rising block and I'm blocking down at the bottom. See, the queen is still flat. It's not like this or like this. It's always like that. So from here, block, keep the block, change the block. Now what I've done, I've changed the block. I change my leg and I have to just turn to the front. My arms don't do anything. Let me show you that without talking. It's not quite right. This arm, the elbow comes in. That's not a very good martial art stance. So from there, the elbow comes in. The point I'm making is my arms don't cross my body. Do that again. Block. Keep the block, change the block, change the leg, and come in. I'll do that from the back for you. Where am I? Here. Block, keep the block, change the block, change your legs, come to the front. White crane spreads its wings. It's a beautiful move. Let me talk about the breathing now. From here, no breathing, I'll make this block. Always when I stand on one leg, I breathe in. Okay? Block, breathe in. When you make a block here, breathe out. Breathe in. Go to one leg, breathe out. Always, when you go to one leg, ding, remember, breathe in. Right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And if you follow the breathing, the move has to be reasonably slow. That's what we're looking for. What I like about the Yang style, one of the essential principles is that movements are always controlled, always, and the same tempo, the same rhythm. It's not like Chen style where I'm going to move quickly. It's always the same tempo. Good. I'm going to put all of that together 2 or 3 times for you and then we wrap it up. Hey? Let me just go facing you. I want to just do it and see if I have forgotten anything to tell you. Come with me. Yes, there was one thing. When I stroke the horse's mane and I turn, I don't want you to try to step around the corner there somewhere and lean forward to get this foot wide enough. What you do, you maintain your posture, you turn on your one leg, and then it's so easy to stand straight. Let me just show you that. I'm going to walk towards you. I'm on one leg. I turn and fix my back foot. Roll back. Come on this leg. I turn and stand straight. Roll back. Turn so I can step straight ahead. It's not a big turn, but it's enough that I don't have to lean forward and step there. Posture always upright. Right, I'm going to do it twice with you from the beginning with my back turn, and then we're going to wrap up. Where is it best to start? I suppose here. We started here. I'm going to go that way. Yes, let's go. You can, of course, repeat the video, but I would like to do it again with you. Find your balance. Both feet parallel. Arms float up, arms face the floor, elbows dip. Breathe out. Find your balance. Breathe in. Turn. And breathe out. Roll back, turn, breathe in, turn, breathe out. Roll back, breathe in, turn, breathe out. Breathe in, change legs. Breathe out. Good. I'm going to come over there and go to gallery mode and chat to you, but thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Thank you.